Hi, everybody. Let me tell you that a new song has dropped from Ringo's upcoming country album, which will be called Look Up, and is coming out January 10th of 2025. The new song is called Thankful. And first, let me say, when I think of the word thankful, we are definitely thankful to have Ringo Starr still with us, still doing it all at the age of 84, a very young 84, giving it his all in concert performances and doing a lot of album recordings and EPs. So very happy to have Ringo here. The song Thankful, I have heard, is going to be the closing track on Ringo's upcoming album, Look Up. And the reason that it's the closing track kind of gives it a little bit of a pass in a way, and I'll explain that as I go along. Okay, now this is what I would call a first impression video. I don't really consider it an official review until I've heard a song or an album more than just once. Got to listen to it for a while to really get a little more familiar with it, at least more than once. But my first impression of this song is that, I guess this is a country song. I'm not familiar with new country. When I think of country, I tend to think of more classic country. This has a very typical Ringo, what I would call pop rock feel to it. If it wasn't for the fact that there are guitars here that are, I guess we'll say, I'm not a musician, but I'm thinking whether it's pedal steel, it's the twangy classic country sound. If it wasn't for that, this could just as well have been a regular everyday Ringo pop rock song that you hear on any of his albums, I think, if they had used a standard, rock guitar. So that's how I feel about that. It has Alison Krauss here featured, and Alison Krauss is very nice on the harmonies, gives it a little something. But I don't know, I just found this to sound like a lot of Ringo's typical songs. Now, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a kind of same kind of way. It certainly was pleasant enough. The lyrics kind of are, I don't know, predictable. You kind of can almost guess what he's going to rhyme something with. You can almost tell what the next closing word is going to be to a verse. Things like that. I'm just thinking to myself that it's not something that's really typically new. And there's something here that Ringo does, and we were wondering if he was going to. He says the term that he's known for, the cliched term now, peace and love, not once, but twice during this song. Now, the reason I say that is I have no problem with peace. I have no problem with love. That's what we all need, of course. We know that. But a lot of people who are fans of Ringo's for a long time have come to the realization that he relies on this over and over again to the point where it becomes kind of a dull, same old kind of thing. It's a cliche for him. He does it all the time. Now, I was wondering if he would do it at all on an upcoming country album. Now, I've heard from somebody who's listened to the entire album already and got an early sneak listen, and told us that there's only one song where he relies on the peace and love routine. And I guess this one, Thankful, is it. But when I said a little earlier about getting a pass on this, I feel like if this is the last track on the album, first of all, it sounds like it would work pretty well as a closing album track. I'm all right with that. I guess I could handle a little farewell for the whole album, Peace and Love. Hopefully, after not hearing it, kind of like thrown out there constantly for the other 10 tracks. You know what I mean? I think there are 11 tracks on this album. So as a kind of parting peace and love thing to close the album off, I can give it a little bit more break on that regard. But anyway, this is a pleasant song. I don't love it, that's for sure. It's okay. I liked it a little bit, but it's only one listen that I've given to, and I know that songs like this can grow on me even more if I listen to it more than just once. So, not an official review yet. I'll probably do that when the album comes out on January 10th, But that's another thing I'll say, if they're going to keep on dropping individual tracks before January 10th, what's the point of reviewing the album when it finally comes out if you're going to take it just one song by one song like that, you'll wind up getting the whole thing before the release date. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this video, but I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a heads up on my opinion of this decent and fairly enjoyable Ringo pop rock with a country twist song.